Major General Spellman, there's a rule in the justice system. It's called the rule of completeness. Some people call it the rule of fairness. It's a pretty simple proposition that you can't just tell part of the story. You got to tell a whole story. Most of us were brought up, you're going to tell it all. In fact, the oath that I just administered to y'all, if I remember correctly, it says to tell the truth, and then it says to tell the whole truth. It's called the rule of completeness or the rule of fairness. You may have noticed we do not have that rule in politics. What you have in politics is selective amnesia and a hyper-focus on pointing out what your political adversaries have not done, as opposed to what they have done. So I listened to my friend from Maryland in his opening, decrying the fact that we have not had a public hearing. We had one today. Every single member ran out of time. You get 5 minutes. Now, the advantage for members of Congress is that you're on television. That's the big advantage. The disadvantage is you are limited to 5 minutes, and you have to unlock the mysteries of the world in 5 minutes, and I let every single one of them go over. Every single one of them. Some of them went over a lot, because you cannot effectively question anything in 5 minutes. So, keeping with the rule of completeness and the rule of fairness, I want to let you know what, Garrett, I appreciate you mentioning the word staff. I appreciate you doing that. I don't mind if my colleagues take shots at other members of Congress. I don't mind that. We all sign up for it. What Luis Gutierrez did is rare. That's really, really rare. To say something across the aisle, complimentary, publicly, he's a unicorn. That doesn't happen. I get that. But Garrett, you mentioned staff. So I want to let you know what staff has done as it relates to our fellow citizens who are suffering due to natural disaster. October of 2017, no, I did not misspeak. It's not October of 2018, October of 2017. We had a member briefing with FEMA. Now, what may you ask is a member briefing? It is an opportunity for members of Congress to come and ask every question that they have. There is no time constraint. There is no time limit. You're not going to get cut off by a chairperson. You can ask whatever you want to ask, which is why I prefer briefings. So someone who represents a district that is impacted by hurricanes is not limited to 5 minutes. October the 3rd, 2017, a member briefing with officials from FEMA. October 11th, 2017, a member briefing with officials from the DOD and the Army Corps of Engineers. October of 2017. Letters went to HHS, DOD, including the Army Corps of Engineers, DHS, including FEMA, requesting documents. If memory serves me correctly, this committee has accessed over 18,000 documents. You did not hear that in the opening statement given by my friend from Maryland. So we're up to 2 member briefings and 18,000 documents, and we're not out of October of 2017 yet. And that's when committee staff traveled to Texas. Not for 5 minutes in a YouTube opportunity, but to actually talk to their fellow Americans who have been devastated. So Garrett, that's why I appreciate you mentioning staff. It was staff that made that trip to check on the well-being of their fellow Americans. November of 2017, a follow-up briefing, Mr. Long with FEMA on disaster contracting and reimbursements. That's over a year ago. January of 2018, a letter to the GAO requesting a comprehensive evaluation of the federal government's preparedness, response, recovery efforts for hurricanes and wildfires. January 2018, another briefing with HHS on response and recovery. February of 2018, another meeting with the GAO on their hurricane response in 2017. March of 2018, a briefing with the American Red Cross. March of 2018, a field hearing in the U.S. Virgin Islands. There were members that went. It was mainly staff. On the ground, in an area impacted by a devastating hurricane, hearing from their fellow Americans about how they can help make things better. You did not hear that in the opening statement given by my friend from Maryland. April of 2018, a briefing on FEMA's Section 428 program. April of 2018, committee staff traveled to Puerto Rico so they could see firsthand the devastation wreaked upon their fellow citizens. I get taking shots at Congress. I get it. I get it. It was staff that did that. I didn't hear that mentioned in my friend from Maryland's opening. June of 2018, another meeting with the GAO. August of 2018, another briefing with FEMA. September of 2018, Administrator Long, you may recall a letter from me and others asking you for even more information, more than the 18,000 that we'd already received. And then we get to October of this year. And Garrett, this is why I'm grateful that you mentioned what you did, because the staff released a comprehensive report that it had done studying other natural disasters, trying to figure out how we can do a better job. You would know none of that had you simply listened to the opening statement given by my friend on the other side. So the roles will be reversed come January. I'll be gone. We'll be in the minority. I hope the minority treats the majority with more fairness than the minority treated the majority today. And what I really hope is you draw a line of demarcation. You can criticize members of Congress all you want, but staff spent well over a year trying to figure out how to make their fellow citizens' lives better, and I didn't hear a damn word about it in the opening statement given by my friend from Maryland. So thank you for coming today. Thank you. Work harder. Do everything you can to improve our fellow citizens' lives. Work harder. And I'm sure that Congress will continue its oversight responsibilities in 2018. With that, the record will remain open for anyone to submit opening statements, submit questions for the record. Thank you again for your time and your collegiality with the committee and with one another. And with that, we are adjourned.